Hello, Jeff, and it's lovely to see you again after quite a long time, I think.
It is. Hi,
Um,
Jonathan.
yeah, it's good to see you, and I'm really excited. And I know everyone else is very excited about your upcoming seminar for SEHG. I think it's at the beginning, second or third of October. I've forgotten,
Yeah, beginning of
but it's
October.
yeah, it'll come up very quickly. So, look, just jumping in. First of all, um, a lot of us know that you are or were a vet, and are you still treating animals, or it switched to just humans?
I know I treat the occasion animal. I treat homeopath animals and a few animals from abroad. I handed on most of my veterinary practice to my colleague Vicky, the vet, who is a student of mine, and now she's working in my practice down in my town. And I primarily see people nowadays.
Okay, and did you find, or do you find your veterinary experience was in any way useful in treating humans? I know,
Yeah, it
yeah,
taught me to really observe. Hardeman keeps talking about the observing physician. And of course, the animals don't talk to you. I mean, they do, but they talk to you in ways that
yes,
they
yes,
talk
yes,
to you in ways that
yes,
you have to be alert to. And I think doing all the vet work made me very aware of everything that goes on in the surgery because watching the animals was the only way to understand them. Whereas, of course, the people tell you much more.
yes,
So,
yeah,
and it there's certain things like carcinosin. When you see a carcinosin animal, it's a very pure form of that remedy, a sheepdog or a dressage horse or something like that. And so sometimes the animal pictures are beautifully clear and they sort of can cut right through to the essence of a remedy more than maybe a complicated human case sometimes.
I guess
They
also,
work together.
yeah, I guess also, people when they talk, they can either lead you towards the remedy or away from it. I mean, the talking can be distracting sometimes, whereas an animal is just pure. They just are what they are, and I guess so. It must be a little easier from that point of view, I guess. And
It
um,
is, but it's interesting because obviously the owner also talks to me and tells me about the animal. I'll ask questions like, if your animal was a human, what job would your animal be
yeah,
best at on Earth and things like that? And it is
that's
remarkable the answers owners give, which are so accurate for finding the remedy.
right.
It's a really interesting thing. The awareness of most owners, certainly that come to see a homeopath, their knowledge, deep knowledge of their animal, they might not even know they had, is correct. And I know it's correct because I might prescribe on the job. I had a dog not long back, which the owner said it would have been a Buddhist monk, and it had a paralysis problem. And when you look in Sholton's plant book, he says the Buddhist monk is conium. And I gave conium, and it was a fantastic result. The owner said Buddhist monk, and bizarrely, the dog's name was Zen.
It wasn't Socrates then.
No, 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 not quite that easy.
No,
But
no. Well,
anyway, so yeah,
that's interesting. So, just coming on to sarcodes, because the title of your seminar is Sensational Sarcodes,
yeah.
and most homeopaths know maybe one or two, or folliculinum, maybe lacumanum, etc. But what's new about your approach, would you say?
Um, the main thing is that through proving, I don't know, 10 of them now maybe, but also looking at all the cases in depth and sharing with my few colleagues who have also used sarcodes at a minimum level. I don't use sarcodes supportively like a lot of homeopaths do and with
Yeah.
great effect, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm looking for the patient who, at their core, their simillimum is a sarcode,
Mm.
and we realize through the provings in the cases the sort of language that a patient uses when they require a sarcode, and it is different to someone who requires a plant or an animal or an imponderable or whatever. The specific, deep feelings inside the sarcode patient that you don't find in any other family of remedies. And that was maybe the most important thing we discovered, how to recognize a simillimum sarcode in your surgery.
So
The other thing,
I
sorry,
don't
Jonathan.
want to go into it too much depth because this is only just a little teaser just to give people an idea.
Yeah,
We're only going to spend a few minutes. So I just want to cover a little bit more of an overview. So which
cool.
sarcodes will you be covering in the seminar? Do you know yet?
Well, I just proved womb and I proved heart last year. I will do all of the reproductive ones from progesterone and testosterone right up to pineal gland and all the cascade in between luteinizing hormone, gonadotropin releasing hormone. I'll probably do DNA, got some great DNA cases,
Really?
cortisol, adrenaline. Um, yeah, I haven't written the
And
talk
these
yet.
are, and you'll be looking at the themes, the inner
Totally, yeah.
essence of these remedies, rather than just, as I say, as using them as you said, as like support remedies.
No, every time I use a sarcode, it says this a minimum.
That's
I
really,
don't use them
yeah.
supportively at all. Maybe I'm sure I should do because I know great homeopaths do that. But no, every case we will look at, and it will mainly be case led, um, will be a simillimum and a cured case where you just use a single remedy.
That'll be fascinating. Do you have you got a favorite sarcode that's become, you know, so much richer than you ever thought?
Yeah, testosterone.
Ah, right, right.
It has been the one that I have had most success with by a long way, and I think is a fundamentally important remedy. Um, and it is the ideal father and ideal husband. It's Aragorn, it's John Wayne, it's whoever the modern man is who best embraces the concept of being a good father and a good husband in a traditional sense. Uh, and I have the last case I had of testosterone actually was an aggressive cockerel.
Oh, really? Right.
But virtually all my cases are human, and at least half of them are women.
I
And it's
remember because I remember reading some of your cases, and I remember, yes, women. I remember a woman. Okay, that's it. Sort of who took on the sort of almost like the father role.
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
It's to simplify it. Testosterone is someone who's forced to take on the role of being the father when they're a child. Often, a lot of the cases were when terrible things happen to the father during the patient's puberty, and it's as if they went, "I've got to be dad." And it is traditional dad, which is it's terribly interesting with all the um, fluidity in gender at the moment, which is another massively
Yes.
important and interesting question. Um, to look at the pure progesterone, testosterone, and estrogen, folliculinum, if you like, essences as a simillimum, and then see what's going on with this.
Have you actually used them in cases of gender dysphoria or?
I No, I haven't. No, not specifically. I
Mm,
would really have liked to have done, but that just hasn't arisen.
mm.
Um,
But it's
and I
possible, isn't
do
it?
want,
There is a connection there, and it could be they could be useful, I guess.
I think they could be really useful. I don't have gender dysphoria patients. I don't know why. But for somebody who did, they could maybe be invaluable.
Mm.
I do have a colleague who has used them in transing from woman to man, and that's not my story to tell. But
Okay.
there are very strange and interesting things going on regarding gender at the moment, and I think that understanding these reproductive remedies at a simillimum level might be very important in that area. But to put it more simply, they're also blooming good for polycystic ovaries.
Right.
You know,
Right. So I just have one more question. I mean, we could go on,
yeah.
I'd love to go on talking about this because it's so fascinating, and I am
Mm.
really looking forward to your seminar. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. If Hahnemann were alive today, do you think he'd recognize the way you're using Sarkos, or would he be astonished, surprised, or appalled?
I think he'd totally recognize it because um, I take the case, observing, trying to be as present as I can, and I prescribe a single remedy based on what I find. So the method I use is the same as his. It's interesting. He didn't have any sarcodes that I can think of in his remedy box. And why that is, I don't know. But he only had about 100. Will he improve? Well, goodness knows. Who could possibly guess what Samuel's
Well,
mind would
yeah,
do?
I think I mean, I just think you know, he was developing so much,
Yeah,
throughout his own life,
yeah.
and, expanding the idea of homeopathy and what it meant. Cannot see that he would be anything but delighted, I would say. So
I,
that
I,
is
I
my
agree
personal
with you.
opinion.
Yeah. It's just an interesting aside to that. I'm using the imponderable remedies vastly more than I did, say, 10 years ago with great effect. And of course, Hahnemann had two imponderable remedies in his kit.
Mm,
And so they are the remedies of the 21st century with 5G, everything is going on. And Hahnemann had them in the
yes.
1800s. So he was always so ahead of his time.
It was absolutely. So listen, I'm going to sort of wind that up now because I don't want to sort of spoil the seminar and what you're going to
Cool.
bring there. But it's been great. That's been really, really helpful. That's great. We're going to put this on social media and give
Cool.
everyone a taste of what you're about, and look forward to seeing you in October.
I look forward to it very much as well. Right.
Take
Thanks
care.
for calling.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.